Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Barely. Hold on. Is that on my end? It's probably on my end.
I think it's on your.
Talk?
Hello?
Talk more?
Hello, hello. Speaking, testing audio.
Where's Mark?
That's a good question. Where is Mark?
We still got 15 or so minutes.
Yeah.
Just trying to drink this tea to wake up. I'm so I don't know why I'm so fucking tired today.
Yeah, it does. I do sound a bit low on stream.
Do you
Not
actually?
sure why.
I could turn you up, I guess, but...
Yeah, it does sound a bit low.
Really? I don't know. Wait for it to catch up. The
No.
levels say you're... I don't know. Does Tree Void sound a bit low? Chat? Who is here?
Hello, C-Sam. Had a busy day. Is that why you're tired, or just
I don't know.
exhausted?
I
Yeah.
don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the season, you know.
I don't know.
Weather.
Alright, we'll give Mark like 10 or so minutes to show up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I no longer know what's a bit and what's not a bit, so I'll proceed as though this is not a bit.
Very wise.
What are you humming?
What?
What are you humming?
Oh, I put music on the stream, I think. Right? Isn't there music on the stream?
I muted the stream because I
Okay,
don't want to
good.
get dual audio feedback and all that.
I haven't hosted a stream in ages. I don't know if my settings are correct.
Okay, Pod is saying there's music.
Okay, but Pot, does he sound fine? Because he sounds fucking fine on my end.
Hello,
I mean,
Lord
it says
Duckling.
it says the levels are correct. It says the levels are correct. Things sounding pretty solid.
Okay, Blinken. Okay, we have a no coming in.
Where?
From a certain former Defo CC. Mark's at a basketball game.
No, I think he's on his way home.
Ah. You excited for the Super Bowl, Mino?
Super Bowl? Who's playing?
Fuck if I know.
Why did you
I'm
bring it
not-
up? Why did you bring it up? That's the most
because
disingenuous question. Holy shit, that is so
I was
fucking
just
stupid.
filling airtime, you know.
You don't need to. Are you one of those people who can't stand silences? Because I can't stand people who can't stand silences. Like, just let there be a pause, right? Like,
Yeah.
why are you?
Yeah,
filling-
in a conversation, I agree, you know. But when I guess this is the pre-show, so it's fine.
I'm trying to save
Right.
my energy. I do this every pre-show. I don't know if you've noticed. If you go back and watch the old episodes, it's always Mark doing all the talking, and I'm
Yeah.
usually like saving my fucking energy until the show
Yeah,
actually starts.
okay. I got you. No more talking.
At least ask about
Silent.
something you want to fucking talk about.
I was just filling the air.
At the
It's fine.
Super Bowl.
I just found out that the Super Bowl was happening next weekend today.
Holy shit!
So that's why I
next
brought it
weekend.
up, just because it was like a new thing I heard about.
Why are you guys talking about that up in Canada?
It's still like a thing, Canada, because the CFL is terrible, and so.
Is
we just-
American
we
football
just-
actually have a following in Canada?
Yeah, it's just like any other dude bro sport. you
I
know?
guess they played it in Degrassi, so that makes sense. Apparently, you guys have American football teams in your schools.
Yeah,
right?
we play with like Canadian football rules, which is a slight deviation
Right, yeah.
on what is American football's rules. I guess I don't know why we need to differentiate it. That's why we have a CFL league and we don't have teams in the NFL like we have for the NHL or basketball or whatever, So
Abe says there's a Moose Bowl or a Grey Cup. I can't tell if that's a bit or not. I don't know.
yeah, so we do have a Grey Cup. So the Grey Cup is our equivalent of the Super Bowl, I suppose. I actually went to see a Grey Cup live once.
All we have is hockey in Canada, so if you don't like hockey, you watch American sports. Don't you guys have like a soccer team? And don't you guys have?
Yeah, we've got everything. We've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
rugby. Rugby's
Yeah,
actually
rugby.
really
Yeah,
big
rugby.
here.
Like you guys have a league?
And not like a national league. Like, it's not big. If there is one, it's not big enough that me as a normie would know about it. So.
You're not a normie, all right? You're a fucking nerd. Let's get things. Let's get things.
Sal
straight.
is here. Hello, Sal.
Hi, Sal.
Hello.
Hey, we're just chilling for about another like 6-7 minutes waiting for Mark. So, relax.
Pre-gaming, I see.
Yeah. Is this the
Oh,
first
boy.
time you've ever showed up on any stream?
In the OO community, I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah, is this the first time?
In the old.
Is the first time the DeFo community's heard your voice before?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Just relaxing. I don't know how. Before the plan was TV and I were going to talk about the fights. I don't know how in depth you want to go into that, but other than that, like I want to talk about like the anniversary announcements, Pinello, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure like how much you actually want to talk about the fights as opposed to the other shit, the non-fights.
I'm not opposed to either.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't come prepared, so you guys have to throw me something if you want it answered.
Yeah.
Well, Sal, I just want to say I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
I appreciate you always coming into Void Hour. It's always appreciated to see some.
I
Tonberry
see.
Troupe
So
representation.
Nova just pinged me. I see Nova got their perfect score, or at least is on their way to it. But after they finished, they said this crevasse has been horrible. They should have been straightforward. I don't know why I had so much difficulty with this one. So I can't tell if that's a win or not because they worked hard and they got it, but apparently did not enjoy getting it because it was overly difficult. I don't know. That's disappointing to hear.
I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to
Sure.
because I have thoughts on that. But,
Yeah.
is Nova someone I should know? I'm very out of the loop when it comes to DeFo, CCs, and everything.
I know
so
they posted that Reddit link that Reddit post this morning
Reddit posts
about the 50+1 poll wanting should have been $5.
Oh, okay, that's Nova.
But
Okay.
also I think they're a big regular on MateriaBot server, right? Sal?
I
Mhm.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be on main core too, but people got tired of their questions in all versions general, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
But they're
I don't
dedicated
go-
to the game. They've soloed all like the Transcendence middles.
Oh, okay, so they play like in unique comps. Like I would say I wanted to say the word gimmick, but gimmick has like a negative connotation, so I'm not going to use that. But like like,
Yeah,
work-
they're very dedicated to this game.
Okay, that's good. I always appreciate passion for.
Another example is main court had these like daily challenges for the series And they're
Daily.
pretty challenging. Yeah, they're pretty challenging. They rotated daily, but Renki was kind enough to relay them to the users of Materia Bot.
Hmm.
And Nova tried to do as many as he could. And he definitely fought tooth and nail with what he had. And did most of them, I'm pretty sure.
What is like were these sort of pre-made things that were just like shuffled on like a daily basis, or did someone actually like curate and create a
Yeah,
challenge
no,
every single?
Jet's Crush, who's I'm pretty sure in the TCC Discord
Oh
too,
yeah, yeah, we know Jet.
like planned these out and ahead of time. Like he still has an ultimatum to release. He showed me in confidence, and look forward to that.
Okay.
But yeah, it
Well,
was a daily like themed Final Fantasy in a specific fight, no calls, no summon, and all perfect conditions.
oh,
So like one of the fun ones was like Final Fantasy VI in Six Warrior Fight 2 with the Dullahan and the anti-healing whale.
right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that
Well,
was they were very something.
yeah. Well, I kind of know Jet Crush.
Hmm.
We talk a bit. I gave him praise last time I was on TCC, but why didn't he share that in TCC? I thought, like I'm here on an island making these challenges, and here he is, and all these other servers
Well, why
doing
don't you
stuff,
go
and
to main
doesn't
court?
say anything.
Why don't you go
I
to main
don't.
court then?
I don't branch out. I am a silo. Okay.
He's the
I
void. He
I
likes
do
to
what
suck.
exactly. I am a void. I just do what I do, and I try to avoid as many places as possible. I avoid the Reddit. I avoid the other 50 million default servers that there are. I've said many times I think we should call all the servers, have it down to be like 3 or 4. There's just too
You know,
many.
you know, back in the day, main court actually tried to do that, which I thought was pretty communist county of them. But
Do it like by strong arming the other cores
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. Like
Oh,
if
okay.
if if you branched out and made your own side server, they tried to
Yeah.
like get rid of you and kick you
Oh,
out because they didn't want to quote unquote splinter the community. But I feel like what the
oh.
fuck, man? This is all unofficial fan stuff. Why do you care if everyone's in one place or not? It's not your job to curate the community, but
No,
it is
I
such a weird
appreciate the
fucking thing.
hustle. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They should have stuck with
It's
it
dark
more.
dark
Look at the
times.
mess we're in now.
All right, we got another like 2 minutes. We'll start if Mark doesn't show up. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's see. Okay, I guess he's not showing up, so I don't have any of the.
The
I don't have
intro.
the I don't have the intro. I don't have
Yep.
the titles and the images or whatever. So we'll just jump into this pretty casually. So, you know, Mark, if you catch this VOD later, you can just edit it out and begin and cut the episode anywhere you want. But basically, welcome to episode 211 of the TCC podcast. It's the what is it, 5 year anniversary now for GL Defo. I want to
Uh,
say yeah.
Yeah,
GL fifth
It's been
anniversary, JP
five
sixth.
years, so I'm just gonna say there's been 5 years of TCC, and there'll probably be 5 more years to come. So
hey,
we're not
congrats.
we're not going anywhere. You can catch us next week on our regularly scheduled time. But before I launch into that, we were expecting Mark tonight, but I don't know where he went. So I've been pulling. We had a special guest. So Tree Void, thank you for joining us, Tree Void. Everyone knows Tree
Wow.
Void. And to replace Mark at the last minute, Cell from the Tonberry Troupe has
Oh,
generously decided to step in. So thank you, Cell. First of all, just want to acknowledge. I think we were discussing this in the pre-show. This is Cell's first time on like a Defo community stream, so I'm sure there's nobody that doesn't know Cell. But do you want to introduce yourself and talk about your work?
sure. Hi, I'm Cell, and I lead the Tonberry Troupe, and I handle the website, Twitter, and make the infographics.
Do you so what's your day to day now actually? Because like we knew back then, I think Ink did the initial infographic drafts and he ran the website. And I guess it was his plan for what content to put on. Did you take over all of those responsibilities?
Yep.
and then I know like Dreamy used to do the actual infographic. Are you doing all of that as well?
Yep.
Holy crap! Wait, so wait.
What does
So
everyone
what's
else do?
yeah? What's the distribution of labor nowadays at TT?
So Ano still or Hell still does what he used to do in that he would research
Yes.
kits early and he would annotate them all on a document. And then Ana goes through that document, make sure it's accurate. He used to do fight notes too, but he picked up more workload. So we've slowed down on the workload, but thank goodness for other creators like Scott Ong, Excalibur, Destroth, who make their wonderful fight infographics that they give me permission to share on our new Shinryu page.
Oh, you're doing that
Uh,
now. Did you do that before Macnol's website went down to City Info?
they using their infographics?
Yeah.
No. I asked them when they started making them. I'm like, hey, this is great. Can we start using them? Because I knew because they were. I forget exactly when the last fight that Ano did was, but I knew that we had to either like transition or kill the fight page altogether, and I didn't want to kill the fight page because I like having a lot of things in one place. So I asked them early if I could borrow their graphics, and they were cool with it. And I credited them, and I linked their pages, their YouTube pages, and they're credited in our team page with icons.
Nice. So you're basically the new Ink. You run TT. You run all of it.
Yeah,
Okay. And
that's
then
me.
it's like the tortoise and the hare, right? Like you outlasted every other website, so now you get to host all the infographics and everything. Like you stole Scott Ong and Excalibur from Dissidia Info, and then I guess like soon. Wait, do you have a tracker on your site?
You mean like how Neater has?
Yeah.
Dre?
Or OO tracker. Sure, yeah.
No, no tracker. I think Ink used to have a spreadsheet, but he
Mhm.
discontinued it when Nidre made his site.
Okay.
Nice.
You should
Because he
just.
did have a Google Doc.
Can you host OO tracker? I mean, can you host Food Tip on the Tonberry Troupe site?
I don't know.
Can you also merge with Dissidia Compendium?
No.
Can you
No.
can you put a forum on Tonberry Troupe so people can make posts there and not have to go to Reddit?
I don't know. I might, but it wouldn't. I don't think I would like how it looks.
Okay, fair question. All right. Well, there we have the honor of having Cell on, and sorry, no intro for TV. He's on like 3 shows a fucking week, anyways.
I was on every show this week.
I'm not surprised. You
I'm
know,
sorry.
I don't watch any of the shows you're on,
Yeah,
but I just
I know, even
assume
mine.
but I I just assume you're on like 3 or 4 shows a week, right?
Yeah,
And I guess I was right. But
yeah.
jumping into this, thank you guys for covering for Mark last minute. I just want to talk about. I guess TCC never got a chance to talk about the anniversary, and now we have TT's insight here as well, and with Tree Void, literally everybody else's insight combined. So it's be a nice little roundtable discussion on things. Because I'll be honest, I went into the anniversary stream expecting very little, and I was actually pleased with the things that are announced. And then now that the first event has come out, the Crevasse, which is basically the main event for anniversary, probably the
Yeah.
only exclusive big thing GL got. Like I was a little disappointed this was all we were getting because last year we got like an entire fucking cycle, right? It was 3 events. But and we'll get to this later, I feel like the quality of this event outweighs everything we got last event because
Last anniversary, you
yeah,
mean?
last anniversary because if you had Garnet, you basically ran through all of it. And like I think that was the first time we ever saw Crevasse, so the concept was interesting.
Yeah, that was
But
Crevasse Beta.
but right, like the common complaints were that was too restrictive, and I feel like they finally got it right this time, near perfect. We'll jump into all of that, but other than that, like they announced enough new stuff and enough effort. This Crevasse, the Pinello GL first and stuff, I thought it was like just enough to show like, hey, people are still working on this game. Like we're still providing content, which got me to I bought a Whale Pass this month just to support. I was thinking about getting something else, but I'm still divided on the deals. Hey, we can talk about the deals soon too. But this was very cool, and I even thought the JP announcements were really cool. So both of those coupled, I felt like, hey, you know what? It's content worth talking about, content worth discussing, and I wouldn't mind covering it because I had an interesting talk with Cell briefly before this, saying like, hey, we have more and more content creators kind of dying, but Cell, who's apparently around, like the opposite of Treevoid, he's around all the other discords. He sees like there's still new players coming in asking for advice, which surprised me kind of. But that's enough for me. Cell, and thoughts on anniversary announcements. GL side first. Anything?
GL side, I definitely do think, even though Penelo might not have been as exciting of a character that a lot of people were expecting from an anniversary, I do think they put in a lot of effort into this anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Even though people still hold a grudge against Dare to Defy, or they're coming around to it, like people don't think it's exciting because it's just quote unquote recycled fights. But at this point in a mobile game, what isn't recycled fight? Like, what isn't the same enemy with a new skin and maybe a new mechanic or two?
Yeah, I imagine like games like this. I imagine they can only put in so much data before. Like, there's got to be. Actually, you know what? I'm not a computer wizard. I don't know if Cell is. I forget. I forgot. I think Cell told me once upon a time what he does, and I completely fucking forgot it. But I'm just gonna assume everyone's a computer wizard nowadays, and it's just like with something like a mobile game app, there's probably memory limitations before it becomes too bloated, right? Like, so I understand all the palette and model recycling. Hell, even FF14, which is a big AAA MMO, is starting to hit that point where they need to reuse a lot more assets than invent new assets at a point. Like, the game is just becoming too big, so I get it. But sorry, Cell, did you have more to say on that?
No, just to touch on your point on the new players coming in, there have been a lot of people that are like asking like the reroll method, and we have to go through the spiel. It's like, well, it's not like other gachas. You can't just reroll. You need all the weapons, which can cost up to 125 tokens or gems. And
Oh,
it's like, well, that's per character, and you need more than 3 characters if you want to consistently do content as it comes.
oh
So it's
yeah.
fun.
I just wanted to talk to Cell because I haven't. Hi, Cell.
Wait. So are you here
Oh my god.
temporarily or for the episode?
Episode? What episode?
We're doing episode 211 right now. It's
Why are
5
you
years
lying
of
to me?
TCC down, 5 years to come. Are you staying? Are you gonna
No.
contribute? Are you gonna pull your weight? No.
No.
Do you want to
No.
hang out for a bit?
Yes.
Okay. But
Yeah, BC.
we were literally talking about how we felt about the anniversary announcements.
Oh.
Cell gave us like TV. Do you have something to? Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it, BC. You just got here. So BC's here now. Apparently, I guess. Without Marker Pierre around, this is just fucking chaos. So,
Oh, are you not joking about the episode thing?
I don't do jokes. I don't do bits. I don't know how many fucking times I have to say that before you guys get it
Slash
through
me,
your
no?
head. Like this, it's always serious. I don't fuck around. But yeah, BC. Just candidly talking. Like, what did you think about the GL? Because I know we talked about it on the side. I don't know if you ever talked about it on your channel or anything like that. But I was just saying before you got here, like I went in with very low expectations. I think Cell said the same thing. And then what we got was surprisingly good. I was happy with it. That
Oh, we really are live on Twitch. Wow.
the GL
Yeah.
side and the JP side.
um, I was happy. I also expected nothing. I'm easy to please. I thought this crevasse was the best iteration.
Right.
Of,
yeah. So we're gonna talk about that.
This
right?
is the best
Like,
crevasse.
thank you.
so
Like,
far.
and I wanted to. I was gonna use your runs as an example of like. Well, you know what? I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun because we're gonna get to crevasse. But like, I was saying like we got a GL first BT, which that's the minimum I expected. Which is
Yeah,
good
they
enough.
set the bar up there. I was thinking about that when I forget when I thought about it, but it was like, oh yeah, look, another GL first BT. Like that's the point we're at. Like, oh, they did it the first time, crazy. Like, oh look, Another GL first BT. Yawn is Pinello. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
that's a personal problem. That's a
that's
personal
I
problem.
don't feel that way, but it's funny that it's not as impressive.
Oh, you're saying other people react.
Oh yeah, not me. I'm happy. I think Pinello's dope.
I know, because we're still not at the site. That's why I'm saying, like, Foresight's really ruined some people in the community, because we're still not at that point where we're getting a BT every week. So, like, this is still a big deal, right? Like, this is, but, yeah. Did you have anything to add to that?
Not really. I mean, as I continue to play the game as a civilian, I kind of just doing events as they come along when I feel like doing, and I kind of just dicked around in the crevasse at my own speed. And it was fine. I mean,
yeah, and you enjoyed it, right? You've had fun.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I've been having pretty consistent fun, just kind of just dicking around. My enjoyment of the game. I mean, I don't pay as much attention to the game as I used to, but that's probably for the best. I mean, so yeah, I mean, it was good enough. I'm happy with it. I think I said on stream that I gave it an A. I thought they announced a lot of good things, a lot of fun content. I like seeing the flashy 50+1. It's good. Some people's expectations are in the clouds, which is understandable, because maybe they want more for the game. But I didn't. Easy to please with this game.
I'm really gonna blame, and I'll throw this to you soon, TV. Sorry, I'm really gonna blame Foresight on this again. Like, everything that gets announced gets shit on by people who only have eyes for JP. So it's
these goofballs were watching all the 50+1s when they came to JP and just salivating like, when will it come to JL? And then it didn't come like when people expected it, around like Luna Freya time or whenever that happened. They were like, we got the 50+1 and it gets here, and then it's like the next thing. Focus on echoes. It's the same shit over and over again. I'm over it.
No, it's not even just it's the echo. It's not even just that. It's like, oh, Pinello GL first BT, and then everyone's like,
and
FR. They're like, don't fucking pull. She doesn't have an echo. That's a trap. Echo's around the fucking corner. Yeah. She's gonna fucking die. And
I've been struggling to make a video for it, because I'm like, honestly, the people who still think like that this by now are just, it's too late for them. Like, it just doesn't age well. If you don't get it by now, if you don't know to immediately identify a broken unit without them being in a lot of JP videos, you're just stupid. Not at this point.
Armpits.
Oh.
What?
Was that not it?
What?
Someone clip that.
What? Clip what? Hello? What happened?
Shell, what did you say?
I don't know.
Yeah, what happened?
Cell just yelled out armpits for some reason.
Wait, really? No, shut up.
Were you looking at Elon videos again?
He's making jokes.
Holy shit!
What's happening? Okay.
I don't know why he did that.
Okay, but yeah. TV?
Oh my god, he's a little too excited.
TV?
Yeah, okay. Let's.
I'm gonna die.
I guess I'll read it in.
Who paid you to say that?
I think.
Who did?
Let's see. I think Anniversary is, from our perspective, I feel like us, for maybe TCC in general, it gave us what we wanted out of the game, which is more quote-unquote endgame content. I think if you are looking for signs of life for the game, that it's going to continue on to like a 6th anniversary in GL, you're probably not getting that. I think some of our British CC friends, such as Lion and other animal CCers, are a little bit disappointed with the way this anniversary rolled out, in terms of it not being a new character. Dare to Defy being a lot less impressive in month 6 compared to month 2 of Shinryu era. Pinello of all units being the one that's been graced with the BT. So it's a lot of, I don't see the life in the game, which I think is a fair assessment. But from my perspective, as someone who, makes mock Dare to Defies every month since we had the gap, I couldn't be more happy with it. I'm a Crevasse fan from day one, so it being back, and I think probably this is the best iteration of Crevasse.
For sure. I think everyone's been saying that, or at least all the vets.
Yeah, I think most people would say that.
It was one I didn't excessively bitch about, so it was great.
Yeah, like we'll talk about it, I guess, when we get to it, but the ability to option select one of the 3 most difficult ones, I think, is a good flex slot there, and that really helps it out a bit, so it's not quite as restrictive. So I think it's overall pretty good. I like this anniversary. I think Pinello is a very weird choice from a we want people to buy this unit perspective.
I mean they always look at the new characters they've been releasing. Yeah, exactly. I've given up on. I gave up on that years ago. Are you kidding me?
The way these devs operate is very strange in terms of making money. So you can't.
Characters to me are their kits. If the kit's cool, I'm in there.
My copium.
Yeah, you're function over form at this point, BC. Right?
Yeah. No, characters don't really do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I swept Queena and JP and like Astos looks boring as shit and all those it's just the character at this point. Unless I'm simping, it doesn't do anything. And I think other people would be wise to do that themselves. Just look at the kits, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit difficult when the main selling point of this game is it's a Final Fantasy crossover, right?
Fair,
but I get your point. You're right. But it's just hard when you came in because it's a fan service game and now you're
I think you're
not getting the fan service. That's a valid complaint. I'm just over it.
You both have valid points.
I'm not shaming people if that's not clear. I'm not shaming people for being disappointed that there's no new characters. I'm just saying there's a healthier mindset if you are willing to adopt it.
Yeah.
Right. You both have valid points. I'm leading copium in defense of BC's point is that I don't know if this is what they're actually doing or if it's a good strategy, but I wasn't super surprised by Pinello because I thought the whole
because you read the in-game hints.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me started on those fucking hints.
The boss waltz, didn't you read? It's one.
Bro, they had Evanescence.
You know what? All right, we're talking about the hints. I didn't want to fucking talk about the hints. We're talking.
No, don't talk about it then. You're a grown man.
No. I'm just saying, I know we all know that we all have our ears all over the community, and we all know in here, I'm sure we all saw that, Josh was not happy, that people were not happy about the whole hint section on main chord, because he was saying, people are really salty about it, something yogurt, but, to address that, if we really want to have a conversation and address it,
I really don't.
It's not that you can't have fun dropping hints, but I feel like making an entire stream slide and talking about how clever the hints were was a little overkill. Slightly. That's probably added to the salt of some people. And the other thing is that, you can't hide something in a super obscure place. Like who would read the tip section of a random fight and be like, oh, this must be pointing to the next GL first? I don't know. That's a little crazy to me. But
also the quality of some of the hints, such as if it acts 10 times before, if you hit it 10 times before it acts twice, being 10 plus 2 equals 12. This is some
flip was that real?
Can upside down 666 shit. Yeah.
No, that's not real. No, shut up. That's not real, is it? Shut up.
That can't be real.
Shut up. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Did no one read
the slide?
No!
I kind of tuned out because I was angry at the whole hint thing.
I think the fact that he lingered on the slide for so long.
It was a long time.
Really
it was a little overkill. And then In's confirming Josh did say that, and then In saying if you want it to be a guessing game, say it's a guessing game, and you
let people
hints.
Find it.
Which makes sense to me because that's actual community engagement, right? You remember how what was it last year, or the year before, they tried to do the Twitter trivia questions?
Those are great.
But at least that was in plain sight, engaging with the community. So if they made a tweet and said, "Hey, we put hints as to the next GL first in here," you would be engaging the community, but fucking hiding it away. It's like if you boot up Doom or something, and it's go to this corner and squat 200 times for a fucking message about our next IP or some shit like that. Nobody wants to fucking do that. I mean, Cell, you've been a little quiet. What do you think about this hint gate?
The hints.
Hintgate,
I did notice that some of them were yellow. I didn't think too much of it, but
damn, this man read it and didn't get it.
I think it was a little.
I would admit to that.
The one that broke.
Excuse now. I thought they were so obvious.
The hint that broke my back was 10 plus twice.
That's so dumb. That's a real hint. That's so stupid.
It's a real hint. Yeah.
That's pretty stupid.
And I can see that you're hinting towards it too, because we're in episode 211, right? So we were getting 1 GL first, and if you flip 211 backwards, 112. See, TCC's in on it too. This is the quality of hints we were getting.
You want to know what my hand was in on this? In the beginning, Mino opened up as 211, but actually TT won the Civil War.
Wow, that was esoteric.
You know what? You should write the next hints. You should write the next fucking hints, Sal. Clearly,
that was.
It'll be cloudy with a chance of NFR.
But just to put a just to put a pin on it, I think the reason, Josh, why people were salty and there was backlash was because there was a kind of a you paused the stream to say, I can't believe nobody got this.
Yeah, you stupid fucking idiots.
These are so obvious. Like, yeah, these are so obvious. Like, how did we were afraid we were gonna give it away.
You guys don't read. Yeah. You guys brain Rick and Morty brains aren't big enough to realize that 10 plus 2 equals FF12.
If he'd mentioned it in passing, just like, oh yeah, and we dropped some hints in the description or whatever, and moved on.
Yeah,
I would have been like, oh wow.
If there was no slide, it would have been like, oh cool.
Slide dedicated to dunking on the community.
Yeah, that's a little crass, but but right. So
yeah, we're supposed to be the assholes.
If you're not gonna take it,
we're the assholes. Please understand.
But right. So besides that, though, no, I was gonna say. I was gonna say Penelo didn't surprise me because I thought the whole point of these GL first were to be these like crazy OP aura bots that aren't very hard to play. So I felt like in line with Garnet, Penelo and Garnet and Core, Penelo fell into that. Doesn't really fucking matter what buttons you press, and she's like putting in insane work just by being on the field. But I mean, like, Cell, what do you think? Should they have gone for a more popular character, or is Penelo a good GL first here?
I think she's a good GL first, and she's actually probably more balanced than Garnet or Core in that she can't be exploited as much as they can with their like linked attacks or follow-ups.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's bothering people is that she's too balanced. They want broken. They're like, I want to think less. I want RNA again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, Sel. I think the sentiment that she's not broken is flawed. Just because she has so much utility within her kit. Like, she's a gauge charger, which is already incredibly powerful and becomes even more powerful when we hit 4 events a month and the enemy FR percentage rate of increase goes up. She has a generic FR, which is incredibly powerful in Echo era. So that's why the people complaining about her having no Echo are like incredibly misguided and don't know what they're talking about.
Like I said, it's the same type of people every time.
Yeah.
And someone that doesn't play...
It's the same people who continue, like the same goobers on Reddit who complain every time. I'm pretty sure it's them every time.
Yeah.
I don't play JP, but can't you just echo during her FR, or is that not how it works?
That's exactly how it works.
Oh.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Have the echo ability.
I remember on Rex's event, I brought Machina, who doesn't have an echo, and then I used Core and Aerith's echoes during his.
So then what's the problem? I don't get it.
It's the problem. People are fucking stupid. That's what it is.
Exactly. That he can echo in someone else's FR, but hers is so good and so generic. Plus 75 for free.
Yeah, it's free.
Right? That like you would never, unless it's a very specific situation, you'd never even need to use someone else's FR.
Yeah.
You can just press the echoes within hers and just destroy the fight.
It actually
I commented on Reddit. I think people just don't know that.
It actually feels like it's a really good opener FR too, right? Because it's instant turn and you fucking cleanse the whole party. Like,
and here's the other thing: she doesn't have an echo, but she will.
Yeah, and it starts at 150. Like I don't know, it's I think it's really fucking strong. It's just people.
It's gonna work like Aerith's, and people are gonna get a return on their investment and be happy.
Look, man, we're getting like Reddit posts that are saying the codes are too many numbers. It's too much math in Crevasse, all right?
Because, again, these are just dumb people.
So
there's no way to make it pretty.
And those numbers go to double digits, so I understand that like 150 and all these fucking gauge, like it's too much. It's too much for the community. I don't know why you're playing an RPG if you don't like math, by the way, because that's RPGs are just math scouts.
But you said it yourself, right? Final Fantasy RPGs are not very math reliant, right? Like the game kind of takes care of everything for you.
I mean, you don't even gotta do math here. You just, I didn't do any math. I actually legitimately didn't look at my number until I was on the last stage to make sure I didn't fuck up massively. I just went for a big score. Some people are just inferior.
Wow. Okay, that's not a.
Yes, please take that out of context.
BC's opinions are not reflective of TCC's as a whole.
They're reflective of mine, at least in that.
I have to play the straight man because Mark's not here, so I have to keep the children in line tonight. But yeah, no. So besides the GL first, which I think, as you guys have said, it'll be more apparent when Echo gets here that there's a lot of lasting power here. But monetization, I even thought they did a really good job with these bundles, right? Like, they're throwing out all kinds of bundles now at different prices. The ticket chests. I think if they made those a regular thing, that would make a lot of money because they're like what, $1 and $4 or something for like the same amount of gems and like fucking 80 tickets or some shit like that. Like, I think that's a smart. I think they're trying all kinds of bundles now. They've got the BT token, the HA, FR tokens, etc. Did FR tokens drop this time in JP BC?
I don't know. I sneak for.
I think at JP 5th anniversary they had FR tokens. I'm fairly certain.
Okay, but they made it more regular. Like, I feel like even on the monetization side of the anniversary, they did well. Cell, do you still buy stuff for this game?
I've been buying Premium Mog Pass up until like last month, and I think a month before that.
I also stopped.
But I might pick it up again just because there's a lot of stuff quickly in this month for anniversary.
But none of the chests interest you?
Oh no, I haven't bought like. What was the last costume I bought?
I've never bought the chest before.
I need Nidre in here. You guys are fucking kidding. Yeah. Treevoid, you're a whale. What do you fucking think about these chests?
So these chests are good. I mean, a lot of them are the standard chests.
Are they? No, there's some that are shooting.
No,
like 80...
So there's some new stuff, but like a lot of them are like the BT chest and the high armor chest and the high power stone chest. Like a lot of them are standard. There's some new stuff. The new stuff is cool-ish. I think it's great that they're providing more means of monetization. I think that's good. We always complain they don't monetize the game enough. I think for a lot of people, including myself, sort of we've already fallen off the cart. Like it's hard to get people back in. I'm buying Premium Mog Pass, and I'm not buying. I don't see any reason to buy any of these. To the extent that I sold my blue Pinello armor to get the ingot, so I could
This is the wrong person to ask again. Holy shit! I wish these.
I used to buy the bundles.
I did. Mental health.
You don't deserve a platform. You don't deserve a platform.
Bro, it's the same dude that is only FR. Never forget, bro.
Mental health. Last time I was here, I sold FRs, and I was hesitant about
mental health. Now, and he's gonna regret that shit a year later too, bro.
I'm gonna get everyone in bronze weapons, bronze armor, to have all the passives.
Whoa!
This is. I just want to know that. I just want you to know that, like, literally, I'm pretty sure Jet Stingren said this like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, right, when he sold Squall's BT.
Yeah, birds of a fucking feather. I'm just.
Bro.
Yeah. Like, as long as I get the effects out of it, what am I losing? I'm losing a little bit of CP and like 1,000 defense, but defense is a useless stat. CP, you can take off the HP and defense passives because those are negative.
Mental health, bro. Mental health.
Yeah, so I'm saving money because I'm investing my money in a game that I like more, which is Genshin. And so I'm allocating my resources. But I have never stopped Premium Mog Pass, and I'm going to continue doing so until the game dies.
Do you at least have a take on what some of the best bundles are?
Yeah, so I think the Thrifty +1, unless you are a brand new player, is a waste. Like,
I would even argue not good for a new player, because what are you gonna get? Like, I think scraps of kits.
Well, you're getting parts of kits, and there's the potential of a good BT, right? Because you can't guarantee a BT in any way, but at least you're getting a shot at a good BT. I think there's potential there. Otherwise, I think it's kind of a scam. I think the high armor bundles are probably the best one. Although, as a vet, so only looking from a vet perspective, the armor bundles are the best one by far because they're the most limited resources, unless you're a whale. But if you're a whale, you already have the BT stuff, and you don't care about that. High armor is going to be your
I gotta
limited stuff,
bounce, y'all.
and high power
All
stuff.
right, later, BC.
Okay,
Thanks
see
for
ya,
stopping
BC.
by.
Yeah, deuces. I dead ass just didn't.
No
get
worries.
The Twitch
No
notification.
worries.
That's hilarious.
Later,
I
BC.
thought you were messing with me.
You're fine, dog. I thought you were just running on what is it, POC time?
Okay, on that note, bye.
Right? Like if I say dinner's at 5, you show up at 7:30. Like I thought you that's why I didn't make a big deal. That's why I didn't make a big deal. You were invited. You were invited, and you showed up.
Like... the cross because I didn't think you guys were doing something. I just legitimately didn't know. POC time? Yeah, let me get a hashtag POC time. Holy
fuck
shit!
Out of here! Get the fuck
You're an
out of
idiot.
here! I'll see you later.
You made him king jump.
I mean, it's okay. You can say that, Nino, because you're also a POC, right?
That's fucking racist. I'm pretty sure people like you can't say that to people like me. But
oh yeah, okay. We're gonna go over this again.
But anyways, right? I'm no business magician, but I feel like if they offered these HA bundles, these BT bundles, and these FR tokens like on a monthly basis, they would probably make a lot more money. I guarantee you the real whales would pay a monthly BT bundle because
they do that.
Wait, they offer the full BT bundle every month?
Like where you get the book and the 2 ingots or whatever?
Yeah.
He means the tokens. Oh, never mind.
Oh no,
tokens.
I meant that. Yeah. Shit. Oh man, I'm fucking out of touch then. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do the Do they do the HA armor?
Once a month, I believe, for both sets.
Okay,
I know
well,
because
fuck me
Nidre
then.
buys them every month.
Oof.
Fuck me, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that's my fault for being out of touch. You were gonna
I
say
did want to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wanted to
buy
bring
them.
up. There was a deal in JP that someone pointed out that our costumes are like 36 US dollars, but JP has a special anniversary bundle where you can buy 2 costume tokens for the price of 1 costume. It's it's basically what it is. It's 2 tokens for 1 costume each for the price of 1 costume, and I thought that was really cool. And I hope that they keep those. The tokens and they keep re-releasing those, as those are great for like new people that don't have them.
Yeah.
The costumes.
Yeah, for people who care about cosmetics, that's a great deal. I mean, I'm never
that was
one
me.
who really cared, but
Did you? Yeah. I agree. So I mean, like, good stuff on that, and then bam, let's get to the meat of this now, crevasse. So
I just wanted to quickly say, because we mentioned like JP briefly in the beginning and how you liked it.
Yeah.
I had my first experience with basically the only new thing they did, which were the special new crystal core missions that basically want you to bring a mono crystal color team. It's like in theory, it's cool in concept. In execution, it's a 1 extra fight a week. And it's about a 150% HP multiplier.
Is it actually 1 a week? Because you can do multiple, right? You just don't get the reward.
I mean, you could do multiple for no reward, I guess, in theory.
Right, which again, I think people would do. I think I think there are players out there. You don't think so?
Okay, so is there a person who would do that? I agree, sure, but like I think I'm someone who's pretty into the game, right? I play both versions, whatever, blah blah blah. I did it once and I'm done with it. Like. It's an old fight that's recycled, which is fine. You know, I don't make a new fight every time, but you've already done the fights. You're doing it with more HP. That's about like. It's not like there's any real new flair to it, other than the fact that you're bringing a mono crystal color team. But you know, you do it once and you've kind of seen it, right? Like it's just more HP. It's not. At least in Crevasse, it's you can change some things with the conditions of the Shinryu or whatever. Here, it's literally the same fight with more HP. So it's kind of dull. Plus, the power upgrades are very nominal. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're really that impactful. And there's no future. Like, if this was a mini step towards something that we were getting, I would be fine with it as a mini progression series. But this seems like an endgame grind with no future. They didn't mention anything about that, as far as I'm aware. And so it's like a interesting progression system, but to me these cycles are kind of unnecessary. It's like, why am I doing what's the power I'm getting for? Just to make the same run easier in the future, I suppose. So to me it kind of fell flat, but I think it's interesting.
It feels like a step up. It feels like they're gearing towards something. I feel like they're not going to give you power to not give you something to go. It's like I feel like a lot of eras in the past did this. People were like, "Why am I getting stronger?" And then the new difficulty comes, and they're like, "Oh, all right." Like,
Yeah, I would hope so. This is very long term, right? Like I think you require 16,000 points per crystal color or something, and you get max at 700. So, it's going to take a long time to do it, which is good. That means they're thinking long term. I think that's a good sign. But in terms of the actual rewards, at this point in time, I think it's a bit lackluster. Could they change it in the future with new difficulties and such? Sure, but just this is my current stance on it. It
that's
could be subject to change.
that's fair. That's fair. I feel like they're really milking FR era. Like we're probably gonna be in FR era longer than any other era if we reach a new one. So
Yeah.
I see this as like a stepping stone. I don't know how closely you follow the JP news, but do you have any thoughts on this?
No, I haven't been seriously following JP stuff since I figured out Ruby Conte plus Bronze Synergy can just handle all ticket missions.
Wait, is that true? You know what? I'll find out when Rubicante gets here. He's still a ways off for GL, right? Couple months.
I think it's
He's in like
3-4 months.
2 months. In April.
Mm.
Forecasted.
Rubicante, I'm actually hyped for my.
Don't be.
No, I think I don't think it's a
Yeah,
coincidence he released when he did. I think a lot of people think these releases are random. This might be cope, but he was released when the Four Fiends were released in FF14, like right that same week. So
there's your FF14 integration, everyone.
Always. But yeah. Okay, so going into the crevasse though. Cell, let me get your thoughts first because I haven't talked to you about it yet. I know you actually did a clear pretty early on. Was it the same night it dropped? I don't know. I went to fucking sleep.
Yeah. So I saw the crevasse stuff. I looked at what the codes were that they were like waiting for because some of the ×2 of like 2 different colors could be the same like ×2, but they wouldn't be the same point value.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to redo 2 like 3 times to make the whatever the highest one is, 525 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just wrote down what characters I had that would match the best codes, and I tried them, and it worked. But I have seen a lot of people push back that they don't want to think,
Mm-hmm.
and they could just wait a day, but they just want to be angry instead.
Yeah.
Because Scott Ong, other Reddit users, Excalibur has like made his stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of different resources to like plug and play with your own units.
Oh
to
yeah.
find the score you need.
I want to talk about that so bad. I'm glad Excal's in. Lord Touch Me and Excal, really solid players, are in chat right now. Like because when I talk to the veterans, they fucking love this event, and we'll get to it. But I forgot the most important thing about the anniversary stream before we move on to actual content. Let's rewind a bit for the anniversary stream. Where the fuck are the lanyards? Am I fucking crazy? I'm not crazy, right? Josh said on stream that if you don't win a lanyard during the anniversary stream, there will be more chances as they will be giving them out to content creators and community figureheads to give out. I didn't imagine that, right? That wasn't a fucking fever dream. I don't trust TV. He's biased, but Cell, he said that, right?
Yeah, he did say that.
Okay. And so the only reason there's a TCC episode today is so that I could still be qualified as a content creator and get these lanyards. And where the fuck are the lanyards? Because I swear to God, as soon as the anniversary event dropped, he made me go into every fucking Defo stream, and people were streaming because it was anniversary, and I was looking for lanyards. Nobody fucking had lanyards. Somebody gaslit me that Mr. Happy was giving out lanyards. I fucking forget who, but like, this is insane. Like, this is fucking...
Wasn't he progging?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was progging.
Yeah, he was.
And so I mentioned it in passing as a joke, and then everyone believed me for some reason. But
you didn't slash me, no.
I've been told that my sarcasm doesn't come off very well, and so I should be very explicit when I'm being sarcastic.
I think it's great.
Thank you, Sal. I appreciate it.
You have a really a monotone voice like
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Eeyore.
it comes
you're like
from
Eeyore.
smoking all the
You can't
time,
tell
right?
when Eeyore is being sarcastic, you know.
Yeah.
But right, like where the fuck are the lanyards? Where are the lanyards you promised? Come on,
Yeah.
Squex, where are the lanyards?
Forward to it. Next anniversary.
I have to wear my fucking ID badge, my work ID badge, on my waist with a little pull cord that I have to like pull up to eye level every fucking time I need to like get into a door or
I
get
hate
past
those.
security. Yeah, like a fucking animal. Like because the lanyards aren't out. Like this is fucking. I really need a lanyard. And if you won one from the stream and you're listening to this, I'll pay you $50 for a lanyard. Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk. Message me.
Is that legal?
Yeah, why wouldn't that be legal? You can win a prize and then sell it, right? Like I don't think there's rules against that. You can win a contest, a sweepstakes, and sell that stuff online.
Yeah, but then you
eBay.
got to pay taxes on it.
No,
Yeah, because then you're like, that's like a loophole.
But back to Crevasse, as Cell touched on it, I think what really made this Crevasse so good is because whether on purpose or not, they made alternate paths to the perfect score by making 2 daggers and 1 other primary weapon equal to running 3 of a kind, which opened up so many fucking possibilities. And I've got like a list of proven teams that work, and there really are a lot of options, which I'll go over. But the point is, like, I think they did that to sell Tidus, because Tidus is on the start banner. All the start banner dash banners were being... No, he's not on the start dash banner. Sorry, he's on the Pinello banner. He's just featured.
He's one of the reasons.
He's just featured, right? And I think like they really were pushing Tidus because one of the force weaknesses you can choose is Tidus's ranged attack, that
instant turn rate.
Instant turn rate. Yeah, only him and Kane have that in the entire game, and only Blue Sword is an actual path to perfect score. So I'm pretty sure they threw in the 2 daggers to push him.
So Blue Sword is...
he's the only Blue Sword.
He is the only Blue Sword.
So if you do triple blue with sword and 2 daggers, you can get perfect score. Because
you'd run in with like Ferris or Edge or Lock.
I did Edge and Lock and Tidus for a run. I didn't end up using that for my perfect score, but I did kill a fight with that. So it's
a Shinryu or the Loof Plus?
Yeah, Shinryu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very easy. Tidus still does a shit ton of damage, and his FR is great, and also Edge is free. I think if you put Edge on a fight with the condition where they just keep turn warping, he's free as fuck. Yeah. So but right, so because they created multiple paths to a perfect score, I've only seen 3 perfect scores so far, and I know. So it was Ricky, Shrew, TV, and myself, and TV and Ricky had a bit of overlap. But
very similar.
Right, but I ran different teams, and even when people didn't get perfect scores, like RVK was 2 points off. 2 points off. RVK came so fucking close, but he showed viable teams to use for perfect score, even though he didn't get it himself because he doesn't have fucking yellow swords, which is the worst category ever, right? So by allowing like more combinations of codes to get perfect score, it really blew open the door, and we'll talk about that. I want to talk about the 3 Shinryu fights. Who gives a shit about the first 3 fights? Like, if you're aiming for perfect score, those should be jokes anyway. You could throw any fucking FR at that and slam it. But and the other big improvement they did this crevasse, which I think they really did well listening to feedback, is the last crevasse you could pick force weakness, and that was stupid and fucking boring. This time, you can pick the weakness and an extra force gauge effect, which was so much better than I thought. I thought it would be an extra force time effect, but it's an extra force gauge effect that's there for the whole fight, which...
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to Nidre about this, because Nidre's like, I'm trying to decide if I like this better or worse than choosing the orb condition for the first crevasse, and I said, this is better, because you can mix and match, and it's present throughout the whole fight. I thought it was fucking fantastic. So, yeah, so that and those 2 elements I thought made the entire event so much better. But let's get into the fights. So, you had 3 force weaknesses. So one was geared to Tidus, we talked about. It's an instant ranged FR. Another one is no braver HP damage FR weakness. That's clearly geared towards Penelo, but I think a few others can fulfill that. Like I think Minwoo can do
Aerith
it.
and Minwoo
Aerith
are
and
the
Minwoo
two
are the
others.
only. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the third condition was. Oh, go ahead.
The force condition was not only don't attack, it was also restore to abilities.
Right.
Which only Penelo can do.
Penelo is the only one who can do that. Yeah.
Oh shit! I did not realize.
That's what makes her special.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay, yeah.
I was thinking of Hell House in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right. So one is geared towards Tidus, clearly. Another is to Penelo, and the third one is Break with a melee attack. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, who on the featured banner is that? Is that Arden?
Arden is the featured unit who would hit that. Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's...
Although many units can do
right,
that.
but I think like the pattern of these crevasses is usually they're focused around 3 characters, and then you're supposed to build a team around them. So like Penelo's white daggers, Arden's yellow and Tidus is blue stuff. I don't know who fucking cares. But right, so the first of the Shinryu fights is those fucking I keep calling them Fell Eyes, but they're
Ludes.
not.
It's Ludes.
Ludes, right.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about... Actually, you know what, Cell? You've done all the research. Do you want to be our details guy? You want to tell us about the fight?
What research?
Don't you do the fight research? Can you tell it? You want to...
Sometimes. I usually just... I just throw whatever Excalibur, Destroth, or Skadong post or throw at me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do as much detailed fight research as I used to. But I do remember these fights. Is there a specific fight mechanic you want to go over?
Oh, no, I just wanted, like, a cursory glance, but I can take care of that really
I can do that.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You want to tell us the gimmicks of these, whatever they're called?
Yeah, firstly, fuck the 6th fight.
Yeah.
It's Yuna's Heretic fight with, like, 10 mil more HP each or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they increased the HP there.
It was a little bit more, yeah. It was enough to make it annoying and not, too easily one-shottable by Penelo and BT in Force.
Yeah.
But... it was basically the same fight, where they hit 80, they debuff you, lower your debuff. I think they do it again like 2 more times at 50 and 30 or 20, and then they regen at 20 or 30. What was 5? Was 5 the Guardians?
5 is the Guardians, yes.
And
5 was the...
to touch on... Wait, did we talk about 6? Oh, you're going 6
That was 6.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going backwards in like hardest to easiest in my head.
Did they take away Aggravate in 6? I don't remember their turn work.
I think it didn't have that in Yuna's Heretics either. It was the HP damage taken up debuff that we got this time too.
So they do have it in the co-op.
Lufenia.
Yeah. Which I thought was in the original Lufenia. That was in the original Yuna event, no?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
It's what let core be broken for that like day or two.
Yeah.
But 5 was the Guardians. I think that was Ferris's fight where they would get instant turn, or like not instant.
It's
they wouldn't warp, but they would get instant turns.
Yeah.
5 the Guardians.
Yeah.
And they had beefy defenses, so people were surprised when they were doing less brave damage. I think that was the biggest threat they really had.
Yeah.
You just off-turn it. 4 were the lewd armors.
Yeah.
They debuff you. If they get to 5, you get HP poison, but you can just debuff immunity or remove them. That wasn't too scary. 3 was the Tyrant. It had 90 million HP, if anyone was wondering. It had a lot of HP for Lufenia Plus, like, now times.
It sure did, yeah.
Yeah. I used triple sword, triple yellow. So I got enough Arden FRs to max limit break him, so I'm like, why not? He only took out, like, half of its health, and I had to do, like, lightning free turns for the rest. That sword killed me, like, 2 runs in a row, because, like, on the 3rd, it heals itself and whoever it's attacking. It was really annoying.
Yeah.
But Lightning did do the job, so props to Lightning for still sticking it out in Lufenia Plus.
Yeah.
I don't remember 2. Was 2 the 3?
Yeah, 2 was the
Queen
3.
Lost Chapter.
2 was the 3, the Queen guys.
It's barely a fight. 1
Chimeras.
Yeah.
Oh, so that one's fun because that was Alphanaut LD debut. It was before they had the threshold markers. So if there were any hidden threshold mechanics, we couldn't see them. which is what Body of Steel is, where it reduces the bravery damage it takes until you lower it past the X threshold.
Okay.
So you had to. So it's like 79 to 69.
Yeah.
Was the first one. There was one or two later.
Mm-hmm.
For most units, it doesn't bother them because of the Brave Gains or Pinello effect or Fusoya effect.
Yeah.
And you just ignore it and like force time, big damage, boom, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember seeing someone who was asking for help how to get past it, and they were running like Tidus, Vayne, and someone else who relied on brave damage, and they just could not brute force it. It's like, I'm sorry, buddy, but you gotta either switch up the team or like put them in a different fight because they're not gonna do it themselves if you don't force skip that threshold.
Yeah. That fight is also launch immune, which I learned when my clear party had Kais in it. So that he didn't do much there.
He did his best. He made you unbreakable.
Yeah. I guess he did do that.
He put in work.
I forget he has that functionality, but
yeah. So to tackle the Shinryu fights, we'll go 4, 5, 6. So 4 is the one with that really shitty debuff, and I think once it gets to 5 stacks, it has this huge HP poison. It's a pain in the fucking ass. And then I think every time they target all, that's a Brave plus HP, right? So like, if it's single target, you know you're not really in danger, and then when it's all target, you know you have to fucking put your shields up. So I think I've seen a lot of perfect teams that can do any of these, I think. So for example, Rivik did this with Triple Blue Dagger, right?
He did.
Yeah, he did Ferris, Lock, Edge, and it's just off turns, which is very smart. All right, my first attempt was Edge with this. Edge really trivialized the fight like crazy, I think. And then I stole TV's path. I think TV, Ricky, and I both used triple great swords and just had Jarland hard carry. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and it doesn't really matter who your third is as long as it's Jarland and Pain. And I've even seen Pain, because we ran Pain debuff mode, because debuff mode is insane. You know, you gotta love Crevasse for reminding you how strong some of these fucking non-meta characters are. And like, I was using Tonberry Troupe's infographic. Shout out to Tonberry Troupe for Pain. I think when she's in debuff mode, it's 50% brave damage reduction taken, and then it's like minus some ridiculous amount of attack. I think like 60 to 70 or more, and then it's like 50% HP damage cap up. No, HP damage taken, which was super fucking ridiculous. So I thought that was the way to go, but I saw Shaded run a buff Pain for some fucking reason, and it worked anyways.
So it depends on the third unit you're running. So I ran X-Death, and X-Death inflicts a lot of debuffs.
Yeah.
So it makes hitting the right side conditions much easier. If you're doing Ashe, for example, Ashe, I mean, she's probably better on buff side because she does so many buffs to the party. So I could see why you would switch it up there. Either side works. Pain is a very powerful unit. Her LD being a full party cleanse and enemy dispel or whatever is very good. Pain solves the mechanics of the fight. Jarland brings the damage, and then your third sort of fills in whatever.
Your third is like super irrelevant, I think, because it's just like the white dagger part. I feel like I've seen all kinds of blue great swords in here as a third slot that just it's fine, right?
Yeah, you could bring Vayne, you could bring Cloud, just anything with like a BT effect or a going. I think Xdeath is really good here, especially if you do the turn warping condition, because his BT effect will just proc on and on and on and on and on, and then you'll just sap so much HP away.
TV had a green Xdeath, and
if he's not green, that would like
no. I'm saying TV had a green Xdeath, but even my base, I had an LD only Xdeath, and I still made damage no problem the same way TV did, which is 2 force times, and that's it. Like, I think it's a good cushion, but I don't think X-Death is necessary at all, and I'm sure Ashe or whatever other BT effect you want to bring is fine, right? So like, I don't think X-Death was making as big a difference as. But like, yeah, I think if you're going for the perfect score, all the perfect scores I've seen use the blue team here. I'm not sure if there's a viable yellow team here, but everyone used the blue team here, and I know blue triple greatsword with Pain and Jarland is pretty free. Probably makes this the easiest of the 3 Shinryus. I think the only advice that TV gave me was at 6 a lot of people put different conditions on this, but we both did the warp turn condition, and so basically at 60% force gauge they would start warping, and if you bring a Hope Call and a Warrior of Light Call with Pain debuffs, if you set that up before they start turn warping, usually they're not going to break through your shields. Usually it's free. And then all you have to do is heal up before the end of the fight, and you're good. Jarlin does like 95% of the damage here. So that's a very free fight and composition if you want to go for it. Again, I've also seen the Blue Dagger route with Edge and Ferris annihilate through this lock as well. And hell, I did it once with Tidus, Edge, and lock. So, you can smash through this fight pretty. I think it's a very good starting point. Cell, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I went the Blue Dagger route with
Nice.
Ferris, Edge, and Core. And I didn't
nice.
do triple dagger because I didn't want to use 2 force times, and I really like off turn, so I like optimizing that as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And Core was great at just helping melt their HP away.
Mm-hmm. Did you think? Did you have any particular strats for their mechanics?
Edge would avoid their debuff, and I don't think they really. Because after Edge takes their like most of the aggro, they do AoE, and I think their AoE also delays our team a turn.
I know there's
a plus.
One of the versions
right?
will delay.
Yeah, like what triggers the plus? Is it during their force time or something? I don't remember.
I think they cycle. I think it's a fixed pattern of plus and not plus and such.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At least that was my impression. It was like every other one they did would be a delay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Ian is saying above 20% force gauge, but I don't think it's. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. Okay, Snoop is agreeing, so now it's correct.
Well, I mean, nice. That's a fucking slam, all right. Look, Yin is a reliable source.
No,
of
Yin is great. Like I'm not slamming Yin here, but Snoop is incredible.
Wow.
Snoop is one of the people.
This is why nobody watches your show, because you're so fucking mean to your fans.
No, look, I love Yin. Yin is great. I'm just saying, there's some people you admire more than others.
Oh, right. They have threshold versions that apply the 5 stacks right off the bat. Right. Yeah. That's also fucking dangerous. So like, if you were like me and you relied on like a cleanse call or something, I just ate the fucking stacks until the end. Like it wasn't worth healing off unless you're going into your burst phase or something.
Yeah.
So decent.
Or if you do what Cell did and evade it completely.
Yeah. So decent warm up fight, and I think these got more complex as they went, which is very good design in my opinion. But fight 5, the Guardians. Oh, these were rough, but at least you had multiple solutions to it. I think I also saw that blue team that both I used and what Cell used for this. Like, you can do an off-turn comp for this, probably the safest one, and you can do. Oh, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, if you're doing like the Blue Dagger off-turn team with Ferris and Edge, you are going to need either Setzer or Charlotta or Kate Sith, because these have elemental lockouts. Because this is the elemental lockout era.
For 5, I used 2 counter tanks and Machina.
Right. So Ferris and Edge are going to be doing ones the whole time because their counters are both elemental.
Edge's counters are elemental. Wait, are Edge's calls elemental? Just the big one, right?
No. Even
he enchants himself.
Fuck! That fucking loser. I forgot.
Hey, he's got drip. You can't make fun of him.
Oh, man.
But right. For the perfect score, the confirmed perfect scores I've seen for this are, I'll let TV talk about this. Triple yellow sword. This is the one I saw the most because nobody wanted to do what I did for 6. But triple yellow sword, I tried it once or twice. Granted, I didn't have a green Arden. My Arden's only base BT, but it felt like shit. And I was like, there's no way greening Arden will increase my damage that much, because I was able to complete it, but I didn't meet the turn requirement when I tried triple yellow sword. Triple yellow sword is Bosch, Ramza, and Arden, and I believe everyone who did that has a green Arden and a green Ramza, I think, which is I don't know, kind of ridiculous. It's a big cost, and it also felt like shit. But TV, I mean, how did that fucking run go?
You're correct. It's terrible. I think it's one of the worst fights I've ever done in DeFo history. Like up there with tier 8. That fight is terrible for Arden. It has phases in which it has a Brave Floor. So Arden will not be hitting his FR condition there. At least, unlike Jarland, he will do his follow-up even if the enemy isn't broken. So this is why I would not recommend doing Blue Greatsword here. Because if you're not breaking them, Jarland isn't getting his follow-up, which means he's doing 3 dumps. Not viable.
This is why I was confused that people didn't put the unbreakable condition here, because they already go unbreakable for like...
Well, if
30,
you're doing,
I threw it in here.
Yeah, 30-40% of the fight. Yeah.
So if you're going the yellow sword route and you make it unbreakable,
right,
then
of course,
it's
right.
impossible.
Like if you do blue great swords, Jarland is carrying that team. He needs breaks. If you do yellow swords, Arden is carrying the team. He needs breaks. So if you choose to do this route, you cannot put unbreakable for either of these fights. You have to save it into the next one for Pinello. But that's a very specific route, and I didn't take that route. And as we said, there's probably multiple routes to take. But yes, if you're taking blue greatsword, yellow regular sword, what's the condition you put on this one?
So on this one, I put the increased HP damage resistance above 60% of the force gauge.
Really? Okay.
So I do not recommend this path. If you are going to go for max score, do not do triple yellow sword, triple blue great sword, and then the mixed dagger thing. Go the Mino route or some other route.
I tried to give my route. I gave my route to Nova. He didn't fucking like it. He took your route instead. He didn't. Nobody. Yeah, go ahead.
In addition to the fact that there are phases, two parts where each one will get a Brave Floor, there is also a phase in which it has plus at least 100% Brave damage resist. I tried with a Jack, Fran, and Ferris debuffs up there from their LD calls, and I was still hitting ones. If Arden is hitting ones, he can only break on his EX because he has no other instant break.
Jesus Christ.
LD should too.
Ricky's in chat. Ricky, how was this the hardest fucking fight for your score? Because I feel like triple yellow sword fight 5 is just
this
fucking
fight
cancer.
is terrible.
Yeah.
It is a terrible fight to bring Arden to. I had to blue my Bosch. I had green Arden, green. So all these units were green and blue, except Bosch obviously is not green. 5 out of 5 ultimate weapon on my Arden. I had to remove the speed passives off Bosch, remove his HP passives because he kept taking too much HP damage and was missing HP requirement, and put a Kate Sith call on Bosch. So for the second half of the fight, because Arden isn't able to break, you're not getting any Brave damage.
Do you have a video of this?
I don't have a video of it because it took me so many times. It's terrible. I needed to get the Brave gains from the Kate Sith effect to be able to do the damage to win the fight. It's a terrible fight. The HP resistance at 60% of the force gauge is extremely, extremely punishing. Like your Arden's damage falls by half, and then Bosch and Ramza are doing no damage at all. It's a very punishing path. I do not think this is the route to go. I would strongly advise everyone not do this. This is not the way to do it.
Like I said, there's only 2 people who, well, I guess 3 now with Nova, but I don't think Nova makes videos. But like TV didn't get a video. Fuck, Ricky doesn't have a video.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ricky is a pro and is saying like I'm a loser because I can't do it, and he's really good at it. He liked the way he did it, so that's fair.
I really wish there was a video of this fight. I really wish there was a video of this fight because like it sounds so fucking tough. And Ricky saying he saved his burst windows to get past the Brave floor, but the last 20% is fucking Brave floor, isn't it?
So the last 30% So
20?
From 29 to 19.
No. 29 to 20 is Marlboro.
Right. So that's Brave Floor.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then the last 19% is you only do 1 Brave damage.
Yeah. It's so
it's
fucking
terrible.
cancer.
It's
so
terrible.
Cancer.
And then on top of that, you need to be very specific with the force conditions by forcing the unbreakable one onto the Pinello fight so that you can have your 2 rebreak ones be on other fights. So I don't know, Ricky, like maybe the way you did it was way better than mine, and then you were able to figure it out in a better way than I did. I brute forced it probably. But to me, I do not think this is the way to do it. Yeah,
Ricky, make a video, please.
Yeah.
Ricky, I'm lazy as shit and TV's incompetent. Ricky, please make videos of the perfect.
You make a video, I'll make a video of mine. And then we'll do the side by side, and I'll see. Okay, this is how I should have done it.
Yeah, because we were discussing too, Ricky, is that us 3 are the only perfect scores we've seen in the community so far. When people have been chasing the perfect score, like we were saying Nova and Materia bot, I'm linking our screenshots of our teams, and then people are starting to get through it using our teams. But we were the first to do it, but there's no video guide or reference to follow at all right now. People are just staring at the 3 characters used, so they don't know the combo of codes, the calls used, and the strategies. So a lot of people are flying blind. I'm not gonna make any fucking videos. TV isn't, so Ricky, if you can make some I think this is the fucking roughest one, so go for it. But right. So I took a very different path from them because I didn't want to redo my fights. For some reason, I got triple white dagger on the last fight, so I put unbreakable on this fight. And I didn't want to do the fucking yellow swords, so I did triple yellow dagger here. And no, not triple yellow. I did 2 daggers, 1 gun, 3 yellows. And I was tooling with this for a bit. And so Meggie gave me the winning 3rd character combo of Balthier. So, credit goes to her for helping me figure this out. But I ran a very different route from here on out. Unbreakable for this fight. I didn't care what the force weakness was because I feel like the force time is inconsequential. It just prevents them from dying. I just stalled it out to kill them. And so I ran Lillicet, Layla, and Balthier. And it fucking sucked in a very different way because Layla does 1s the entire fight because she's lightning damage. It's really fucking terrible. And all she did was make sure that Balthier and Lillicet got enough turns to kill. And Balthier is there for the Marlboro cleanses, and there was a lot of HP pluses, and fuck, man, Lillicet is a gem. I can't believe I got brainwashed for investing in her, but she really showed her chops here. You can spam S1 so many times. She never runs out of fucking skills. And she has the debuffs for the condition. I don't know. It felt like she just put in work here. But, right. I had to use 4 FRs. 2 Balthiers, 2 Lillicets to make it work, but it was a much safer run. Fuck yellow swords. Anyways, this crevasse is fucking terrible. This fight made you really respect the threshold and the form changes. I have never thought, this is the only time in the entire history of Defo I thought, damn, Guardians are fucking scary. Right? Goddamn, them shifting forms and having different mechanics fucking sucked. And I remember we were discussing in Discord too, it's do we push Marlboro phase so you don't get debuffs that waste your turns and the Brave floor, or do you push Ultima Weapon phase so you don't get the insane Brave damage reduction? There's a lot of discussions, a lot of decisions. I felt this was a fucking fantastic fight for this. But Cell, do you have any thoughts on this one?
No, I turned off my brain and just let them kill themselves with off turn.
No problem. Yeah. No problem.
No brain, no thought.
That was the way the fight we originally did it when Lillicet came out, because obviously the restrictions weren't there. Yeah. So everyone was like, "Man, this fight sucks." And it turns out when all these conditions are put on us, it makes the fight a real challenge, and we have to actually deal with the mechanics.
Right.
When I did the fight originally, I didn't know it had phases. I didn't know there was a multiple phase. I didn't know it was a can't do brave damage phase. So this is what I appreciate about Cross.
Yeah.
You actually engage with the fights and its mechanics.
And then
if you want to.
Yeah, and as I'll discuss afterwards, because Excalibur brought it up, and this was BC's run, which is basically like you can super not go this try hard route and actually have fun with the customization, because if you do, because we're trying to do triple codes on the Shinryu and then mixing it up on the easier fights, but you could do the opposite. You could do 2s and 1s on the Shinryus and triple codes on the easier fights, and you could still make the 525 very easily, which is great design. I feel like that takes away so much of the headwork, adds the customization, and you get full rewards. I'm pretty sure that's what you did, right, Cell? I know that's what XCal and BC did. Cell?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Or were you just having fun with it?
I was just thinking, because I don't remember my codes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I used triple anything in the Lufenias yet, or the Shinryus.
Right. And so, moving on to the last fight, if there is a restrictive fight, it is this one, because
Fuck that fight.
I think you need Pinello. I think you need Pinello for this. I have not seen a perfect score clear without Pinello in the slot, and I did triple. I feel like if you play well enough, Pinello can solo carry this, because I fucking ran triple white daggers. So I had Pinello, Thancred, and Lion, and Thancred and Lion weren't doing jack shit. Let me fucking tell you. Thancred was just there to apply Trick Attack for Pinello's burst, and nobody else was contributing anything. And so I feel like if you play around Pinello enough, she will carry this fight. I feel like you have to bring Pinello, because she's the only one that hits the weakness. The effect is I mean, the effect is really nasty, right? I think we all chose that weakness, and but basically, this is the shitty Yuna fight, and you need to avoid the. I think you tackle it really differently, but I know you and Ricky, you guys brought Yuna instead of a third triple dagger, and just like the other fight, the white dagger doesn't matter at all.
I would say I prefer Thancred because of the saps compared to Lion's like nominal more damage. I think in theory you could do this. Like, I don't have a fully invested Yuna. I just have her base BT and no FR. I think if you had her fully invested, you could probably do the fight without Pinello, and Yuna could carry it. I think that's true, because this fight was built around Yuna, right? Now it has slightly more HP, but I still think she is really the featured character for the fight. I think she could do it. But why wouldn't you do the GL first route?
Right.
Yeah, I did it with Yuna there, and Yuna was, for me, was just an Asuna bot. And so she dealt with that part, because Pinello can do it, but it's on her LD, and it's more limited. Yuna does it all the time. So, I think it's Yuna definitely makes it easier, but I don't think she makes it that much easier that it's worth not doing the triple white dagger on this one. I think you should do triple white dagger on this fight.
Again, there's no videos. I don't know how people did it, but I recommended 2 other people chasing perfect score to run triple white daggers, and they fucking hated that shit and gave up on it. So I don't know. It also took me significantly longer, because I remember we were on the live stream when the event dropped, and then you and somebody else got the Yuna clear, and then I was still tooling around with it. I took almost twice as long to get it. So there's something there. I maybe Yuna is the safer path there, but but before I throw it back to Cell, it's just, so this one, I think you need Pinello. So you're either running 2 daggers in a combo for whites here, or triple dagger, triple white here. So this is locked in for 6, chasing the perfect score. But for the other 2, I feel like you can mix and match most combos, and because of the leniency of the codes, I have seen 2 blue daggers, 1 blue sword, 2 blue daggers, 1 blue greatsword, 2 yellow daggers, 1 gun, triple yellow daggers. Did I already say triple blue daggers? And then like triple yellow sword, triple blue greatsword. Like, there are a lot of combos here. In the last 2 crevasses, everyone's last 3 fights were cookie cutter copy paste. All the same teams, obviously, right? Like green staffs, you could only do one thing. Yellow sword, you can only do one. But like this time, there are so many fucking options to go, and I loved it, right? Because when comparing runs to other people who shot for this, we all came out with a different final 3. It was very, very good. And it's no longer you have to have win the lottery and invest in the right characters to get your perfect score. There are multiple routes to the perfect scores. And even though it was a common complaint back then, so it was a common complaint like, oh, you have to have the exact characters to get the perfect score. Now you don't. So now everyone can get perfect score. But, of course the casuals are still complaining.
I don't think that's quite the case. It's
easier
still, too.
They're still complaining. But I mean, the fight execution is actually much more difficult this time. So they give you more paths, but it's actually difficult because the people complaining about Crevasse that I've talked to is that they were upset because the last 2 Crevasses, they literally saw the winning teams, copied the teams, won. That's all you needed, right? Like, you didn't need to know any strategies or anything. You just needed to know who to bring, and they could do the fights. This time, even if you copy the teams, the execution is high enough that if you don't know what you're doing with the teams, you cannot get it. So even though there's so many more possibilities to perfect score this event, so many less people have hit perfect score because it is just that much more difficult. And there's a lot of really high level players here, a lot of veterans I see in chat right now. Thank you for showing up to the Crevasse episode, but you are all amazing.
Chronicle.
Yeah, you are all amazing players, and I am shocked that more of you did not shoot for the perfect score. So my challenge here now is get out there and throw out different variations of the perfect score. I know you can do it, Scott Ong. I know you can do it, Excalibur. I know you can do it, Destroth and Theologica. And I know you guys can throw out more variations out there. Push yourselves because we have no event for another fucking week. We don't have an event for a while, so fucking go for it. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So I'm just gonna say, sort of going along with your call to arms, I think it's probably possible to use Balthier to clear Fight 6.
You think so? You really think so?
Team.
No way.
Yeah, because he deals with the entire debuff mechanics, right?
He can only do it 4 times. Well, his EX cleanses himself, but his LD only has 4 charges that can cleanse the group.
Yeah, I think. Do they buff themselves quite a bit, or no? They don't?
I think it's on thresholds.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're hitting those conditions and you're dispelling them and all that, I think he could do it. Like with a Lilith, right? Because let's say you're doing the yellow daggers plus the gun. I think between Lilith, overhealing, and Balthier removing the buffs, and Lilith can stall turns, and you have a Unicall and a Mog Call, I think it's possible. I don't have Balthier fully invested to try it out, but I think you could do it.
Yeah.
Excal is saying they buffed themselves enough for Balthier FR. So I think that's a possible route you could do, and I think that would be a very cool one. Instead of the white route being via Una or Penelo.
Yeah, Lord Touch Me saying, oh, I don't have Penelo BT and skipped Jarland. That's fair, but I've also seen perfect scores without Jarland. Penelo BT, questionable. I think Penelo is the one thing you have to have for the perfect run, but you could definitely do it without Jarland.
I definitely think you can do it without Penelo if you have Una fully built.
Yeah, and people told me, like, in the beginning, people were like, I don't think you can do this without Arden or Ramza, and I did. So I think there are routes out there. There are 100% routes out there to avoid any one character. I think the only single character you need is Penelo. Sorry, Cell, we went off on a rant, but do you have any thoughts to add to this fight?
No, I hate the stupid buff lowering, especially
that's the worst part.
Affects. So it doesn't affect most buffs in BT phase because BT phase has like an aura of protection towards extendable buffs where they can't lower. But non-extendable buffs can still be lowered. So the first time it appeared as Una's Heretics, I tried to use Terra. And that LD buff got fucking eaten. And I'm still bitter about it.
Yeah.
Fuck that fight. But on a serious note, I almost completed this fight without Penelo BT, but I don't have Yuna's FR. If I had Yuna's FR, you could do it with with Yuna's FR and Penelo's FR uses and beat the fight pretty comfortably.
Really? Now I want to see that, Cell. If you could make a video, well, you don't have.
I don't have Yuna's FR.
Well, I mean, you know, it's what, $70 in the shop right now.
All right, bet.
But basically, if what Cell is saying is true, if Cell's theory works, and if you have a fully built Yuna, you don't need Penelo BT, then there is no character necessary for the perfect score. The only reason I said that is because all the ones I saw had Penelo fully built. But if Cell is right and you don't even need Penelo, then there is no character necessary, no single character necessary for it. So like, damn, that is what I wanted in Crevasse. I wanted it to be difficult to execute, which it is. You can't just copy paste teams and expect to win now. You need to know how to pull it off. Very, very good. Multiple routes to perfect score, and this is the least restrictive it can be without giving up its difficulty. I really loved this event. Like, if this is the best we get, I think this is peak defo. I think this was a peak event. This is the closest as perfect event as it can get. And if this is like the way defo goes out, I'm very satisfied. But I'm like, man, I am so glad I stuck in there for all these, because this, for veterans, for the hardcore players, this was the perfect fucking event. And also, on a serious note, as Cell said, is that like when I saw the Sanctuary Keepers, I immediately had PTSD to Ink quitting, and I knew I had to kill these guys for him using Edward in Penelo's FR. But still, like, it was personal, and so if this is the last episode of TCC and Tonberry Troupe ever, what a way to go out. Right, I avenged you, Ink. You can rest in peace now. Okay. Any other thoughts on the Crevasse before we move on?
I'll just say I think you're right. There is no one character that's needed. I agree with Cell here. I think a fully built Yuna would mean that you don't necessarily need Penelo fully invested.
Hold on. Volrezo in chat is asking what your setup was, Cell, because he has Yuna and Penelo and can try it. Who your third was?
It was Penelo FR, Ultima Weapon 0 out of 5, Yuna BT 3 out of 3, no FR. But if you had FR, you could do it. And the third was Usoya, but I don't know if that's for perfect score.
Oh, right. But for perfect score, Volrezo is basically if you want to slot in Lion or Thancred, that would get you the perfect score. And I really think, and I think a lot of people are saying that third is pretty inconsequential because, yeah. So, like, if you just throw in Thancred or Lion. By the way, there's been a debate on who is the least burdensome white dagger in this fight because some people brought Thancred and some people brought Lion. I'm hearing a lot of Lion love, but they're immune to Lion's debuffs, and I think she does dookie damage. I think Thancred at least contributes trick attack. So I favor Thancred in the useless white dagger title.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. I think Ricky ran Lion.
I think Ricky ran Lion.
Oh, you did Thancred. Okay. I know some other people did Lion as well. Right.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think if you're missing one unit, it's possible. I think if you're missing two, I don't think it is. Like if you're missing Jarland and Penelo, I think it gets much more difficult. If you're missing Jarland and Arden, I think it gets much more difficult. Because like you still use Arden in one of the Lufenia pluses, right? Because you need to use the triple yellow dagger.
Oh yeah, but I mean I don't think you needed him. So basically I ran triple yellow sword for the fight 3, the Tyrant.
Yeah.
And I didn't pop any FRs.
Oh, you did the 90 mil raw. That's rough.
Well, I mean, like, all I did was turn hog like crazy. Like, Arden contributed to that, obviously, right, with his breaks and his instant turns, but Lightning also put in a shit ton of that work, and then Ram's auras carried it through.
Yeah.
So, like...
Let's go Lightning propaganda.
Yeah, so, like, I still don't think you need to build Arden. I feel like maybe 2 of those green and the LDs is good enough. I really think so.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Also, you could use Dash, Yellow Sword FR unit.
Oh yeah, I don't know if anyone used Dash. Does he hold
I
up? I
mean,
mean, he has an
you
FR,
you you
right? He
wouldn't
has an
use him for
FR.
the Shinryus, but yeah, you could use him for the other ones.
Yeah, yeah,
For the
yeah,
Luthanias.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 All right, but like, fantastic event.
Yeah.
Uh, we're closing in on the last 10-15 minutes here. Do you guys have any thoughts about what else has been announced for anniversary? What else you're looking forward to? Anything else they did right that you want to? I just really wanted to throw the veteran voice out. Well, actually, you know what? I wanted to ask Sel because I was saying everywhere I looked, people did not seem happy with Crevasse. Like a lot of main chord general seems to not like this at all. A lot of complaints I saw, and on the Reddit. There's several posts on the front page of the Reddit right now. Like hell, if I go to the Reddit, what was like we were reading some of these posts today. Like if you go to the Reddit top page right now, what are people saying? There's a topic saying, am I the only person who hates Crevasse? And there's 121 comments and 80 upvotes on that right now. If you go to the Crevasse, the thread that collects the fights, I think the C2A, there's a lot of dissent there. There's a lot of, if you go to like Destroth's post on his strategies and team comps, like I'm just seeing negative comments everywhere. I saw very little positive comments, so I was like, man, I hope Squex at least knows there's a lot of people that actually enjoyed this. It's just I think we might be losing out in a numbers game. But Cell said he saw a good amount of mixed or positive, right, Cell? Like what have you been seeing around the community takes on this?
I'll touch on the negative first. I did see that am I the only one thread, and I feel like those are usually just trying to bait people into agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But even then, like early on, there's a lot of people. It's like, I mean, it was fun, new content. It was a little trickier than normal, but I had fun with it. And I haven't seen like as of 12 hours ago, say, or whenever it was posted. But as far as like the other positive that I saw in other discords, it was people enjoying the puzzle solving. But most of the negatives were just it makes me think too hard. I don't want to.
I know, yeah.
And they could have just waited for the other brilliant members of the community, like you Perfectors or Excalibur, Destroth, and showing off their groups. To not even get max score, just like enough to get the status badge for the flex if they wanted to.
Right, like 525, I forgot to talk about, was very achievable. What did you get? You got like 530 something, right?
I got right on the dot 525.
Oh, okay.
But I could have gotten more if I didn't use Machina and I'd use Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sad that I didn't think of Celeste in that off-turn team, but I just got Machina and I wanted to use them more.
Right, so like you could easily go back, do that fight again with Celeste and score higher if you really wanted
a couple more points, yeah.
Yeah, and then like BC had to leave early, so I'll put words in his mouth, but basically he was saying that like he usually is not a fan of Crevasse. Like I think in the past he's like, I like the concept, I don't like the execution, blah blah blah. But he was saying early on this show that like this was the best iteration yet, and he loved it.
Yeah, he did like this one.
Yeah, because he was saying like without having to be too try hard, you just do the 2-1 combinations, and you can blow past the 525 score. I think Cell, if you check your teams, you probably did mostly that, the 2-1 combos.
I think I did too, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying like the 2-1 combos give you so much more flexibility than the triple codes, and like we already listed like 8+ teams you could use if you're going for triple codes, but like if you go to like the 2-1s, there's probably like over 20 possible teams that you could be running for these, probably even more, right? Like so many variations. So like you could reduce your stress levels by a ton and still score very, very well. So like, damn man, like Crevasse is good. And I wanted to address another complaint. A lot of people were like, I did see some, this is a bad event for new players, or this is not good. Anniversary is about getting new players, and this is too hard for new players.
That's the worst comment ever.
But there's a normal mode this time, which I feel like is very accessible to new players. You don't have to do the fucking hard thing, guys. I know all of you dumbasses play FF14 and don't rate Ultimate. You don't have to do the highest difficulty, but like the normal is there. So I think they did cater to all walks of players very well this time. But Cell, you were saying Were there more positive comments about it? Oh, you said the puzzle solving people.
The puzzle solving was the general gist I got from the people that liked it. That it wasn't just use the same team. But it might have been a numbers game that the negatives that like kept saying I don't want to think, I just want to push buttons might be more. I didn't count. I was just looking at the positives because I know the negatives are super easy to pump out.
Yeah. But right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, I was just gonna say I've always been someone, I guess, who doesn't really care about community sentiment too much. I think as long as this convinced people to pull who weren't gonna pull, I think that's a good thing. And I think they're going to keep rerunning Arden on Crevasse until everyone maxes out Arden. So do your part, build Arden so that we don't have to deal with the Yellow Sword again. Okay, please. Because they will continue to run Blue Greatsword and Yellow Sword on Crevasse until perpetuity. At least Blue Greatsword is kind of stuck because of Cloud, but you know, I think that's a complaint that's fair about Crevasse. They keep rerunning the same codes.
I mean, again, what do you expect, right? Like bringing FF14 into this because
White Dagger was a good
because we all play FF14. Like, are you gonna shit on Unreals as content, right? Where they just
I already
bring back
do.
old no, I mean, like, are you gonna shit on them for doing Unreals because it's just quote unquote old content's updated, right? Like, can you really hate on them for updating old content? Like, I feel like that's such a silly fucking complaint for a game as live service. That's why, like, the JP anniversary solution was pretty elegant, I think.
Yeah.
But right, like, that's a really silly fucking complaint in my opinion. Oh, to answer Ricky in chat, without Pinello, I meant can you do it without Pinello BT? Because if you can, I feel like that's really good. If you can do it without the FR, that proves my point even more. But yeah, if you can do it
without Pinello in party, I think you can do it without her at all.
That's crazy, but
I think if you have a fully built Una, again,
yeah,
FR, BP, whatever, but I think you can do it without her.
And about the Arden thing too, right? Like, I know one of the biggest complaints is like Crevasse makes me feel bad because I only pull meta characters and I don't have enough of the niche characters that are good enough for this. And that, like, I've seen someone say this today who posted a screenshot with 1.2 million gems. And it's just like, why? I don't understand. I don't understand why you're mad that the game wants you to pull more characters. I actually saw the take in main court today too. Like, why are you mad that the game wants you to pull more characters and you're sitting on 1.2 million gems? Like, what the fuck is even the point of saving the gems? But that's a whole nother discussion that just makes me sick. All right.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, guys. Any final thoughts on this anniversary? Because I gotta say, one, to reiterate what I said in the beginning, I really appreciate the effort. I feel like I would take this over last year's cycle because last year's cycle was, while technically more content, less impressive. Equinox, people ran to shambles with the friend unit because a friend unit was allowed, even though it was quote unquote harder fights. Everyone just brought Garnet friend to every fight, like snowballed through it. Oh wait, is that last anniversary I'm thinking of?
Yes, last anniversary we got an Abyss, a Crevasse, and an Equinox.
Yeah, and then the Crevasse was obviously everyone's favorite part, but I feel like this one was even better. And then, what was the third thing we got?
It was an Abyss.
Oh, Abyss sucks ass.
Yeah. So I probably prefer last year's because I really enjoyed Equinox, and I just didn't use a friend unit, and I thought it was really good. Plus, it was Crevasse. Plus, I guess Abyss, which is fine. But I think like having Crevasse and Abyss was good. I mean, to counter that we don't have Abyss, we have D2D. But again, this month isn't great. Like, we'll get Ramu Spiritus, but it's the weakest Spiritus until Bahamut Spiritus. And we'll get T13, which is fine. But like the Jesse fight, the Kuja fight, the Strago fight, and whatever the other fight is, they're all terrible fights. Like, whatever. Oh, it's Sice, yeah. Old trash fights. So there's 4 garbage fights and 3 like somewhat interesting fights.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and like the Sanctuary Keepers, we already did it before, right? Like, and now when you open it up to D2D, you have so many units that can like solve that fight. Like Minwu basically solos the fight because of the way it interacts with his debuff. You can bring synergy units to D2D, right? Like there's no restriction. So we have so many FRs compared to before. So I think a lot of people are going to reflect on D2D differently compared to how it was in when we first got it.
Yeah.
I've already seen a bunch of people change their tune. It's like, hey, you know what? Dare to Defy is not so bad. And my personal biggest gripe about it was having to do the main Shinryu separately from the Dare to Defy, and some of them have the option to do the Dare to Defy and it'll clear the main.
That
and
was
I think that's great.
That was a huge problem for even the people who like Dare to Defy. So like, wow, what a great change. We're jumping the gun because there's only one Dare to Defy event so far. But talking to my veteran friends who enjoyed the last D2D, I'm a little wary that I'm not going to have as much fun with this one because the fights are shitty and that like you're probably going to blow it up. Because like you do the perfect score run on Sanctuary Keepers and Crevasse, and then you go in with any 3 you want and Dare to Defy, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is so much easier of a fight. Like I used some dookie ass characters. What was it like? It was like who ran a super impressive fight I saw with like some ancient ass characters, but I think I did Minwu, Freya, and somebody else threw in a Bosch in there. I don't know, but there are some dookie ass old characters that can blow up the fight, and I was just like, holy fuck, man, maybe this Dare to Defy is not going to even be a road bump, but it might be too early to tell. I'm a little sad that they waited this long to re-implement it, but go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dark Knight Cecil Dare to Defy and the Ramu Spiritus Dare to Defy, because they're not necessarily pushover fights. Like, you can kind of turn your brain off if you know the fight mechanics, but for the people facing them for the first time, it'll definitely be a fun show for them.
Yeah, they're curious. I'm curious how they'll work in terms of clearing it will clear the original, because like will the scoring system be implemented into D2D?
Yeah.
Will you get the S rank?
Yeah.
Will you clear Transcendence by clearing? I don't think those two fights are going to work that way. Because I don't know how they would figure that out in terms of a coding perspective. I think those ones you'll have to do it twice.
Okay. And then Cell to sign us off as the last remaining reputable CC in this community. Okay, because the last reputable one. Everyone's either quitting or leaving or fucking awful. You're the only one that Square Enix would probably not be embarrassed to give lanyards to at this point. Like,
send them my way. I'll take them.
Jokes,
I'll sell them.
Jokes aside, Sal. Like, even though you're not the last CC, because Livestream is still quote unquote running, not really. Like, they're not gonna give Raw Life a lanyard or sponsor him. Are you kidding me?
Don't give the best player a lanyard.
Have you seen the mouth on that guy? Have you seen the
trash that he did?
all the others, like you and Resfoina, are probably the final reputable CCs left. So this is the first and maybe last time we're gonna have you on a stream. Like, do you want to use this signal boosting for anything, to say anything to Squex, to say anything to the community? Because everyone in here, even though you've never been on stream, we all know Cell. We all know Tonberry Troupe. We all know the veterans. This is a veteran community, a veteran show. This is where all the hardcore players are. There's nobody that doesn't know how much work Tonberry Troupe and you and Anno and Tell put in. Like, do you want to say anything, final words on not only just like the anniversary as a whole, where is DissidiaFFOO going? Your thoughts? Anything at all?
Just the first things off the top of my head is I do think still that Opera Omnia has a little bit of life left. The global devs have definitely shown that they do want to do some new creative stuff to keep the player base interested and not just rely on foresight.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our Patreon, give us money, help us eat. Tell needs new waifus. Ano needs to feed his children. What else? Tune in to Excalibur and Destros podcast that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Mark can't kill them anymore.
Thank you.
They're free. They're free.
Let's signal boost them. Right.
Yeah.
Before TCC's corpse is even cold in the ground, our friends Excalibur and Destroth are starting up their own podcast to fill the void. Even before
Damn, they're
less
filling
than
you, Tree Boy?
less than 20 less than wait, what did I say? Did I say the wrong names? Excalibur and Destroth. No, and Skadong. There we go. Excalibur and Skadong. So
no, it's Destroth.
Less than
It
wait, it's
anyone can
Destroth?
join.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all of them. Less than 24 hours after
After the
Mark
announcement.
announced after Mark announced that we retired. They're here to dance on our fucking grave. So, Excalibur, throw me the link to where it's gonna be. I'm gonna plug it on the Discords and everything. These are ace players, the best. They've been making content and doing the. They've been helping the community more than us, honestly, because they make the team comp infographics and the fight mechanic infographics, and Excalibur actually explains fights in his run videos. So like, I'm looking forward to this. I really am. That they're gonna be picking up the torch. So thank you for reminding me to boost that out, Cell. Oh right, and I wanted to ask you your personal take. How much life do you think the game has left?
Mine?
Yeah. Because you said you believe there's.
Yeah, I do think that they're still trying to push for. I think GL probably has like at least 3 years, 5 years, if we're like still getting new people each anniversary from cool stuff.
Holy fuck! That's
I feel like we can outlast.
Okay.
What would just shut down Record Keeper Global?
Hashtag
we can beat
5
them.
more years. Hashtag
We
5
can beat
more
them.
years.
We can do it.
All
Just
right.
as long as they keep their core happy.
See, the most wholesome, reputable DissidiaFFOO CC left, right here, guys.
I believe.
Believe in him. Let him and hopefully Excalibur and Destroth and Skadong be the next generation. Let's keep it going. We've lost everybody else at this point. Mark refused to come on.
You got a free hat.
TV, final thoughts. Closing thoughts.
Well, I just want to, I have only been in this community for about a year and a half, TCC. But in that time, it's been like a home for me in terms of DissidiaFFOO content. So I just want to, really say thank you to you and Mark for all the shows you guys have done. I know you've been doing it longer than I've been here, but I know everyone in the community's really liked everything you guys have done so far, and we're gonna miss the show. We know you guys are continuing onwards, but just wanted to say, thank you guys for all the content you've put out there and all the laughs and everything that you guys have done over the years.
Oh yeah, TV still makes content too, so him too on any other show.
Oh yeah, me and Lion have a new channel too, by the way.
100%. We'll be plugging that on the Discord as well. And then that reminds me, right? I've seen all the kind messages on Discord. Thank you guys. Even though we're not responding to them, I see all of them. A lot of reminders. I was talking to Cell too. He reminded me of the really good times too. Cell was like, you know what? TCC was always a breeding ground for a lot of the content creators. That early wave of all the big guys came from TCC, and I even saw in other smaller servers like Xeno servers say a lot of people were saying even though I didn't always watch TCC, it really is an end of an era because they were so big in the community. So all the heartfelt thanks. Thank you guys so much. If I were to be serious for just a second, I want to say that I feel like in life, the most important decision you make is what you do with your time. And I want to thank everybody who has followed TCC all this time, who's here in the audience now, for your time. Because making a conscious decision to spend your time here with us, through either just today or throughout all the years, is really such a fucking honor. And I pay that back towards the game and towards you guys as well. All the time I've been in the community, on the Reddit, on air here, but also giving my time to, we're saying 5 years now? 5 years, about 2 to 3 hours a week to DissidiaFFOO at a minimum. That also speaks to how much I love and respect DissidiaFFOO. Even no matter all the shit we talk, we wouldn't be as Mark would always say, rest in peace, Mark. that we wouldn't be here if we didn't like DeFo. So thank you for everyone who gave their time to be with us at any part of the journey, and we respond in kind by giving you our time as well. Anything else before we close out? Guys, Cell?
No, just huge thank you to you and Mark for hosting the show for the last leg of its life that you did.
Yeah, TV?
Yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to what you do with the Discord, though, because I still think you can foster a lot more great talent.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll fucking probably shut it down. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you sometime, someday, at least on the Discord for the near future. Not sure about these episodes. We're gonna play it by ear, and there's something to talk about. I'll see. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
So long, cowboy.